guys, I'm back again. Sorry for I'm a bit later. I was so diving into sounds that I forgot. Okay, we must stream, but we are here streaming, and welcome to another live stream. Today we talk again about BLUE-3 and this new sound set which will be released with the Explorer 10, hopefully this month. So I'm creating some of the newer presets. The bank will appear as in the BLUE-3 if you own the Explorer 10, but if you only own the BLUE-3, it will be a trade sound set, which you then also can acquire on the homepage. So working on this one. Welcome everybody. Also, yeah, I see somebody new, a new name popping up. Great to hear. Yes. Yeah, Explorer 10 is on its way, and if you did purchase Explorer 9 in the months after November, you are getting a free upgrade. So that's pretty a firm grace period, but that has to do with the fact that we are a little bit later than expected with our upgrade to the Explorer 10. So these are sounds which are appearing, and today I finished, I think I'm now at 31 presets, and Gerald makes variations on my presets. Gerald is already ready. Here I have to remove some stuff. Delete. Yes. This one also delete. Yes. So 94 presets, and I have to make a bit more variations on Klangwelt, his presets. But these are the ones which I created just recently. Some of them are very cool. Let me see if I can show you the magic string. That's a new one. And this one uses something from the sample page, because you can layer edit. You can create velocity ranges. And let me see if I can see it now here. Cross mode, velocity split. Here you see it. I created a velocity split, and I'm using that in this arpeggiator. So if I shut down one of them, so 2 is only playing one particular time. So that's one using only the string model, which is in BLUE-3. So BLUE-3 has FM synthesis, subtractive synthesis with 2 very cool filters with analog modeled waveforms. It has spectrum waveforms on board. You can do phase distortion, wave shaping. It has a range of samples, and these all you can combine together. So it's a very deep synthesizer, which is own character. So this one uses the string model, and if we go to the mod matrix, you can see the layer 1, layer 2, 3, and 4 are using the are modulating the oscillator volume. So I'm using the layer 1 from the samples option. And I think in this one, it's, of course, you see it's essentially not visual, but I created here a range in which they are used, and then they pop up on a given velocity. So this is one of the newer presets, will be part of the Explorer 10. And of course, Gerald will make a variation on this one, on the ARP magic string. So I'm very curious what he will have to offer. And then we have a few more pluck sounds. It's combining, this one combines essentially, if you go down here, you see the algorithm. The algorithm is 1 goes to an output, and the output means it's up here that you can select the destinations, which is filter 1. 2 modulates 3. So the 3, the second oscillator, it's not used, but it essentially modulates oscillator 3. In this case, it's not doing this, but 3 has a glass sound. But then we can see that 4 and 5 modulate 6. So that's the FM setup. So if I close now oscillator 1 and 3, here you hear a bit the FM synthesis. Then we combine this with this glass sample, which is sample of a crystal glass. And then added also a choir sound, which is this one. Very soft. So it's very subtle below it. So, and this is a combination. Okay, and then you got the complete sound. Yeah, that's so. This is pluck da Vox. The Vox is very, a little bit in the background. So this is one of the newer presets. Synth Ease Me. Yeah, and I can see Klangwelt is in the chat room as well. So this Explorer X, so it will appear here. You see 17. Explorer X will be a bank in the Explorer 10. Update from the bundle. But if you don't own the bundle, you still own BLUE-3, you can still purchase this sound bank in our shop. So it's almost ready to go. Will have my 32 presets ready. Most likely, maybe during this live stream, because I'm having now 31 presets created, and which each of us should create 32. And Garrett already has 32, and I'm now on 31. So this is one of the newest sounds. It's very nice. And then, of course, we have more. Pet Glow Dancer. Oh, yeah, it's a... I called it Glow Dance because it reminds me in some way to a dance sound. And you can hear the very nice filters. So I use the mod wheel, you can see it. Oh, the mod wheel is not in the screen. So I need to adjust the webcam a little bit. Oh, you see, here's my modulation wheel. Okay, maybe a little bit more. So you can see me playing. In the upper left room, you can see me. Let me put down this paper. You still can see my cup of coffee. So the second webcam has an issue, and therefore I made it very small, but you still can see that I'm playing. That one of the new ones. So and then it's this one, T-Body 303. It's a bit like a 303 sound using the sequencer. Go on. You can use the XY, of course. I'm not sure if this is fully ready, but it's a bit like a TB3. And it uses a weird static sound, which is this one. Hear that one? Of course, you have a beat as much. Maybe I should change the sequence. And here you can have slide. No. And slide makes a pitch glide. Let me see if I can make it a bit more. Here you can adjust slide time. That's better. And if I could pick here the wave that the off. I need to save this one and upload again. So Geralt, this T-Bone 303, I improved a little bit during the live stream. I'm opening the modulation wheel. And the XY, maybe XY also more on the filter. Let me put it more on the filter. Open it. Nice. Okay, let's save this one. So that's ready to go. So yeah, what we do, we upload then to Dropbox the presets, and then Geralt downloads, makes a variation. This is one of the new one, T-Body 303. As you can see, I did adjust it, so the preset I thought was ready. But then if you listen again to the preset, then you discover, I was too much in one flow and overlooked one thing. So it's very, just like music, you create a piece of music, and then the day later you hear, okay, this is maybe not that good. So then you can adjust little things. Sometimes a preset is good at once, and sometimes you need to adjust it. Very percussive sound. This uses also F. This one is half speed, because in the arpeggiator you can set it to half speed. It's a nice sound for having a stereo delay, reverb. Let's see what the XY does. this one is good. Of course, I also could record this when I go to the XY. I need to go to the XY, and you can say record this, and then you could say do this in replay mode, free mode. Yeah, but that's then too much movement to me personally. Then in a kind of music could be disturbing, so I keep it as it is. Double click makes the dot go back. Save preset. Okay, here we go again. Yeah, let's see for the other ones which I created today. So, Glow Dancer, pizzicato plugin, but that's not only a pizzicato sound. This uses more things. So it uses, this is built up using 4 oscillators. String model, typical pluck key, combined with a square waveform, very narrow pulse using to a filter. Oh, that one goes dry. Oh, that's a thing I need to fix maybe, although maybe it's not bad this way. So this is Celtic harp going to filter 1. Maybe if this one goes not too dry, but no, I like this one, how it is. So this is a pizzicato pluck sound. Okay, and then what I also do is a of course was also very popular in dance music as that kind of sound, but this one is a much more variation because it uses other sounds to combine this pizzicato. This real string is combined with a string model, with a square waveform, pulse waveform, and a Celtic harp. And I made a variation on this one, which is the Pizzi X plug, and that one uses the chord memory. So here's chord, you see this little dots going on, and uses 3 notes. So if I go to the screen, you see 3 notes. I made this sound monophonic because otherwise, if people say chords, playing chords, it might overload the CPU because 4 oscillators are used. And if I hit 1 note, 3 notes are already playing because that's the chord memory. So here you see the root key. The second key, which is the engine is playing, is then +7. And the third is -12. And you see the panning from the first note is on the right and the second is on the left. So you got a very nice so this is very nice pluck sounds in this sound bank. I think I have the hot ones. And then, of course, I made variations on sounds from Gerald. Not all of his are inside of it yet. So, or maybe there are, but I did not make on everything a variation. So let me see. I think this one, I made a variation yesterday, a few of them. So this is the original by very nice synth sound. Nice synth sound, hot resistors, and I made this variation, which is very different. More stabby sound. So this is the original, very mellow, nice. Let me see. So. And this is the variation. So these are totally so. It's more aggressive. So that's fun. For us, it's really fun because it's a challenge. I receive a preset he created and I gonna make my variation. So let me see if I can find another one. Order by date. Storytelling. Yeah, that's a nice one. So click order by date, storytelling. This is the original. Okay, let's play another key. So this uses a lot of the envelopes which can re-trigger. So oscillator 1 is re-triggering on a certain beat. Oscillator 2, oscillator 3. It's oscillator 4. So that's what you hear. So there's no arpeggiator or sequencer, but these are the envelopes which are re-triggering. Of course, if you play nice on time, if you have a beat, and then it makes a kind of typical sequence. So this is storytelling A, and this is my variation. Hopefully the volume is a bit the same. It's totally different. Weird sound, isn't it? So monophonic sound, I notice, more legato mode. Weird sound, isn't it? So the re-triggering is oscillator 1. So if I split it now, you hear this one. Kick. Re-triggering. There's a slight pre-delay, so it starts a little bit later. Then you got this one, this metal sleigh sample. That does play only once. You got with this one, oscillator 3. And oscillator 4 is a tabla. So that's also a storytelling B, A and B. And you notice the sounds are totally different, but that's in the flow. Garrett did start with this one. And I started tweaking around and ended up with this one. Those little left-right stereo. Go, let me see the chat room. Somebody is asking, can we add our own preset? Yeah, you always can save your own preset if you mean that. If you go to the bank manager, what I can advise you, if you have BLUE-3, you go to the bank manager. Then you create here, down here, new bank. For instance, I created my own Rob personal bank, which is 01. So you could name it 01 and then your name. And then you could store the presets in this folder, your own personal presets. And of course, if you change the system, wise to back them up. So the presets are in the bank folder on the PC in Documents, Rob Papen, BLUE-3 bank folder. There you can find all these files. And on a Mac computer, it's in Applications, Rob Papen /BLUE-3 bank folders. So always wise to back up your presets if you create your own presets. And if you change a current preset, which is from the factory patches. So for instance, if you go to patch 1 and you change, for instance, this vocal organ, don't save it in the same preset, because if you run an update, the vocal organ preset will be overwritten by the installer because it's a factory patch. So if you change a preset, always save it with a new name in your own personal bank. Okay, let's go back, because yeah, you see down here many presets in BLUE-3. Over 4,000 presets are inside of it, and this bank, this Explorer X bank, will appear as number 17 Explorer X in your Explorer 10 bundle. And if you have BLUE-3 as a single product, don't worry, it will be a trade sound set on the BLUE-3 homepage, and there you can purchase this sound set and copy over the banks, and you have all these new cool sounds. So let me check again what we also have. I go to order by date. That one we played already. I'm looking for a variation, which I did. Storytelling we had. Deep BLUE-3. I think that's a bit. Oh, that's a new one. You can recall, maybe this is the first preset. When you purchase BLUE-3, the first preset you hear is from the introduction bank. And this one is also reusing the triggering of the sequencer. So I made a variation, which is very nice. I could not resist to have that one, which was... And that's this one. Okay, order by date. Therefore, I call it the X. Yeah, the BLUE-3A. Order by date. It's the... Some more toms. And you see, it uses a lot of the re-triggering. So let me hear down this one. Oscillator 1. Oscillator 2 is doing this. Yeah, oscillator 3 is doing this. Re-triggering on each 2 bar. For each 2 bars it plays one note. Then you have the tabla. That plays in 1/8 note. So if you go here, the re-trigger in the upper screen of BLUE-3, you can see the value. So that's up there, 1/8. Then we have some additional toms. And the deep crier. So together we have one big noisy stuff. So I'm looking forward what Gerald is creating according to this preset. So we get a variation on the BLUE-3 preset here in this bank. So let me see if I have another one, which is new. Pat Me Gator A. Yeah, that's also a new one. Very minimal gate graphics. It's very minimal moving, so if you have then a beat, that's the Gator sound using in BLUE-3. That's also a new preset. Let me see if we have, yeah, the bass gong boom. That is also nice for a movie, or if you make maybe get music for games. So let me check the chat room. If you have a question, of course, let me know. Just yet many presets already from the new ones. This is really an FX sound. Yeah, and yeah, of course, pad sounds are great. So they're also in this bank new pad sounds. This is really a big one, which uses the diamond strings, which is this old machine vocoder string machine from Italy, which has a very typical sound, which was used in the 70s. So this is the variation by Gerald with a pitch glide, and this was the original. Good question about the Gator. Yeah, sure. The Gator can be, let me check again for the sound so that I can find it. There I click order by date and I have the newer ones because that was a newer preset. Mi Gator A, yeah, that one. Yeah, sure, you can make the left-right things going on. So you see everything which is blue is playing. So let me give the Gator a bit more. You hear that now, left, right. So you have for the left and right, you have a different. It's a nice beat. I also could make a, let me see, because maybe I feel some inspiration, guys. Maybe I can do. Oh, this sounds weird. This goes directly into FX3. Let's see if I throw this into filter 1. Or filter 1 and 2. Oh, that's a bit too far. I make my 32 preset now because I like this one. Yeah, nice. Oh, yeah, this is number 32. Save preset. That's, I should give it a name, of course. I call it, because the sound is a bit grain. So I call this grain Gator. So the Gator is far more active now. It's wet. You have the smoothing. Not sure if I should use a reverb. Yeah, it's nice. These FX are in serial. You can see FX1 goes into FX2, FX3. So that's the path, is serial. Yeah, it's a nice sound. And sometimes you don't have to do many things to have a very nice sound. So this one is also save preset. And then I need to upload. Excuse me. So that Garrett can start doing his variations. So I will upload them after we had the live stream. So where was I? Of course, I need to set a category. It's a pet sound, a bit wobbly, not really. But a Gator I fixed, that is selected. Yeah, apply and save. Nice. Of course, I need to check the volume, by the way. 3 notes I always play. And then I look here in the level of the track. Then I always, so that one goes a bit louder. So then mostly I go -5. Yeah, cool. I'm happy with that one. So 32 presets are ready. And then we will have 32 variations by Klangwelt, by Gerald. And then what I need to do, of course, is also make all my variations on Gerald or Klangwelt, his sounds. Whoa, what I'm looking at is that 6 oscillators. Sure, BLUE-3 is 6 oscillators. And why has it 6 oscillators? Doesn't mean that you always have to use them, but it's down to the fact that it is also an FM synthesizer. So it does FM synthesis, and maybe you know the original DX7, which had 6 operators or 6 oscillators. So the concept of BLUE-3, when we started out this in 2006 already, so it's already 18 years old. The original concept of Blue was 6 oscillators with FM synthesis and subtractive. It's a good question. So you see many presets. If I go to introduction bank, that's I think a good example. Let me see where I can point out the unique concept of this synth. Let me find preset. Aha. Okay, so here we go. So this is a preset which originally was from the original Blue. And you see the algorithm, this is an arpeggiator sound. This one uses FM synthesis. You see 3 and 4, modulate 5. Start a sinus. So this is essentially it's phase distortion because the other one modulates the phase of the oscillator. And each oscillator then in BLUE-3 can have its own envelope. And you see if there's a little dot active here in oscillator 1, it means that the envelope is active, although this has a certain setting. But for instance, number 3, the envelope amount is open, so it controls the volume of oscillator 3, but it only controls it for a very short period. So it uses a That's essentially FM. Hear that? If you go wrong, it can go easily. You got R2D2 sounds. So essentially that is FM synthesis, but instead of making a virtual FM synthesizers like a DX7, well, that's already done by Native Instruments. They have the FM7, the FM8. But I thought, okay, I like FM synthesis because of the features, the typical sounds it create. But for instance, the original DX7 from Yamaha did not have a filter because it was a fully digital synthesizer and they did not add a digital filter to it. So I thought, yeah, it's cool to have the power of FM synthesis, but I wanted to combine it with the power of subtractive. So it's a combination. That's why I call it cross-fusion synthesis, because it combines all kind of things together. And therefore, these 6 oscillators are very handy. So in this preset, you hear this part, which is FM. But on top, I added the vocal, which is came into the soft vocal sound. So then you have, of course, a much brighter option for sound synthesis. So in BLUE-2, samples came on board, and all of these samples we added are essentially for synth sounds. So don't expect a real piano or something like that. The focus is really to have samples which are very good for typical synth sounds. So if you go to the introduction bank, there are, of course, plenty of sounds which combine these things. Let me see. Yeah, this is also a combination. So here we have FM synthesis with a thumb piano, which is that's a bit soft. You hear this one? It's a thumb piano, and that one combined with the FMs got a kind of layer sound. Does AM synthesis also exist? AM synthesis from Yamaha was at that time essentially analog modulation. I think what they did essentially was what we also do in BLUE-3. The SY-77, for instance, or the SY-99, they had the FM synthesis together also with samples. So you could have there also a range of a real piano and all kind of orchestral sounds were in the SY-77 from the 90s, these synthesizers. So in between 90 and 2000, they are sold, the SY-77 and SY-99. They had FM synthesis together with samples, and of course a sequencer was also a kind of workstation. So that's AM, if you mean this AM synthesis from Yamaha. That the AM at that time meant that they had also samples on board. So yeah, BLUE-3, it can do really these typical sounds, which are this typical FM bass. So they all kind of. So therefore, I call it digital basses, which really hit you in the face, isn't it? One of the famous users from Blue was, for instance, Avicii. Used it in his tracks. I spoke on the NAMM show a guy who made this CS Miami. He used one of the muted guitar sounds, which was an FM sound, in his video series. So yeah, it does the digital type of sounds. And of course, it has, because we have very good square waveforms, so analog modeled waveforms are also inside it. Then you can combine it with the great filters. And many type of filters are on board. You can see how many types we have. Of course, these type of sounds were not possible with a originally FM synthesizer that had only the focus on FM synthesis. That's the reason. So that was added. So you will find some very nice, also analog type of sounds in synth leads, I think. Let me see. It's the lead sound. Dutch dance sounds. So it's so wide, it depends on your own blow bottle. Yeah, and then we added these samples. So this is the bottle blow. Chew. Mowgli. What is that one? I'm just playing all of the factory patch. Yeah, you see many Oh yeah, and by the way, Rush, the band Rush from Canadian Rush band, also use Blue on stage. Yeah, so much inside of it, guys. It's So we have a few minutes left. Maybe somebody has a question, and then I gonna chill down. As mentioned, BLUE-3, we have in the Explorer 10 an update, and then in the Explorer 10, the BLUE-3 will have this extra bank together with Klangweld created. It will be called Explorer X bank, specially created for BLUE-3 and the Explorer 10. With many very nice sounds you see here. 95, it will be 128 in total. I'm checking here for what we have. Find preset. Order by date. Yeah, see here the last one created was now this grain Gator. So this one is created live during the live stream. Wrong note. Date, we focus on February, Thursday 27. That's our main focus now. Hopefully we can get that. The sequence view. Yeah, sure. Let me go to an ARP sound we had here. Let me see. Take one. Sequence. Sequencer is monophonic. So this is and you see a little dot, then the sequencer is active. Then the wave, it has two views because in the sequencer it's monophonic, but it has a wave view and a normal view. The normal view you have velocity, the free roast, and in the wave view you can have for each waveform a different wave, for each step a different waveform. So essentially it's also wave sequencing. Let me see if I have an example for that in this bank. So here you see that in the wave, that oscillator 1 on step 2, and you see a pop-up screen, it has the saw waveform selected, and if you go more to the right, on step 10, it has the wave drum selected. No, BLUE-3 doesn't have sequence MIDI output. Some people ask this to have a MIDI output because of the sequences we built and the arpeggiator, which are very musical. But the problem is, even if we put out the MIDI data, you don't have the data from the selecting wave sequence. So if you would have this sequence put out, you still would not have the wave sequence taken over in the MIDI, because that's only MIDI on-off. Yeah, down here you have then swing function, velocity keyboard, big screen, of course. Yeah, and the arpeggiator has also all kind of cool features. So if I go to the app, Kitchen Groove, or maybe this one. So here, see it's active. It has also a kind of command. So what I very often do, I start with a sequencer that ends on 16 in case of 4 quarter note music, because you also can make it 6/8 or whatever. But then I create a nice sequence, and then I go to the commands, and then I copy the steps 1 to 16 to 70-32, and then I make it the case that simply then I have a copy of 1 to 16 to 17 to 32, and then I make a little variation in this second part, so that you have in total 32 steps. Yeah, so if this ARP is active or the sequencer, you will see a little dot appearing here. Then you know sure that it is active. Okay. Teliac curse of MIDI. No, and was there a Dutch Teliac curses? I know that at that time, it's now magazine, Interface Magazine, had a very nice book about MIDI in the Netherlands, which was really a classic book for learning MIDI, with all the ins, outs. I'm not sure how it was called. I have it somewhere. But of course, MIDI, you need to learn it. It's a fact that this type of music creation, it has a big threshold, because you need to learn how your computer works, you need to learn how to address an audio card, how the music software works, and then you got the MIDI. So it's a high learning curve. Of course, there are some good lessons, online lessons, or music schools which teach all these things you need to know. One good school on this subject is then, for instance, the sound indication in the Netherlands, which have a very nice documentation on these things for producers or starting producers. Okay, guys, you can watch back this live stream if you're a bit late to the show. Just scroll back and you can watch it. Next week, I will be back with another live stream. And of course, there will be a moment when I will show the Raw 2. Maybe next week or the week after it. But, and then, of course, I'll make you already... Yeah, can make you tasteful for the new Raw 2 update. And of course, there's another plugin which will be new in the Explore 10. I will not mention it because that will be a surprise for you. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy creating music and see you later.